And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we'll look at the further implosion of the EU with two more arguing with Brussels. Now this is on top of a fresh issue that will seriously hamper the EU's continuation in my opinion. Let's watch an expert's opinion on the financial market and the commodities market and what it means for the EU.
But the EU has got to work out, for its own users, its own large industrial companies, for example, who want to hedge in the commodity markets, how do they grant them access to those markets? Because those markets are not in the EU, and frankly, they're not going to be in the EU. If they leave London, they'll go to Asia or Chicago or New York or somewhere. And so that's a very practical problem, I think, for the EU, as how they think about those things. So, as Mark said, they are reviewing their equivalence procedures, and I think when things have calmed down a bit, if you like, and maybe rebalanced a little bit, to use that term, we can have a proper discussion about that. Because obviously, to argue that those markets in the UK are less well regulated or less well supervised, this doesn't make any sense. We would argue very strongly that the levels of regulation in the UK are higher and the standards of supervision are higher, at least for the time being. So there isn't really a technical case for not granting it, it's a political case.
Now as you can see there, the financial hub for the EU has now left the bloc, haven't they? i.e. us. They won't be able to access the commodities market unless they arrange something with USA, Asia, or they have to beg us, effectively. Interesting to see what happens with this, to be honest. It does look like they've bitten off more than they can chew. Now the articles I've found show me that the desperation of the EU to make the UK fail, and only managing to fail themselves, has backfired spectacularly. First country that has issues is the Swiss. Now, Switzerland told EU will do deal with the UK instead in heated row. Brexit could see the UK and Switzerland enjoy a close relationship after the country's incoming president warned the EU Bern could work with London instead of Brussels. The country currently has a close trading relationship with the EU, but this is formed through just 120 treaties, as Bern and Brussels continue to grapple over financial services, research and other issues. Mr. Parler could ditch the EU in favour of a UK-Switzerland partnership. And I would suggest that Switzerland do, to be honest. We're going to be the better market. Just watch and see. He said, we want a good solution that can win majority support, and that is not the case at the moment. I don't think we can wrap up this year. Our agenda and that of the EU allow a conclusion only next year at the earliest. Some more red tape he's saying there. I think the EU would weaken itself if it no longer cooperated with Switzerland on research. It's already weakening itself. That's why you should come to us, Switzerland. We'll join up with you on research. Switzerland is currently negotiating with the EU over an institutional framework agreement. Negotiations for the partnership began in 2014 but are still to reach a formal conclusion. It appears Brexit has offered encouragement to some in the country, as a committee of entrepreneurs in Switzerland wrote a statement claiming that the UK's deal shows that Bern can take on the EU in the next round of negotiations. They said, overall, the sovereignty policy issues in the Brexit negotiations were largely settled in the way autonomy Swiss is seeking for this Switzerland-EU framework agreement. The Brexit agreement shows there is potential for negotiation with Brussels, so they're all looking to renegotiate now. I wonder why. So we are a shining light, aren't we, everyone? To a lot of the bloc, it seems. That's another nation of discontent. Now, what's my opinion on this? I think they'd be right to leave the EU, to be honest. I mean, they've been trying to get a decent deal with the EU since 2014, they said. That's 7 years, and they still haven't agreed anything. And I know the Swiss aren't technically in the EU, but they do have a trade agreement and 120 other agreements with them. So technically they're in, out, but they're in. You understand what I mean? That should tell you everything, shouldn't it, Switzerland? Get out now while you still can. But I'd like to know your opinion on this one. Hold tight, there is another one coming out very, very quickly, and that's the second nation, and also the EU's response, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sure you will agree. But I'd like to know your opinion. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share it out, everyone. Stay sane, and I'll see you on the next one.